Hello, Stitchy friends. How are you? I hope you are well. Thank you for being here with me again, for taking some time to see what I've got to show you. Welcome. If it's your first time, welcome here. I hope you like what you'll see. I hope you decide to stay around. And if you're a returner, welcome back. You know, you're always welcome. You're already listening to Willow. She's saying hello, okay? So I wasn't expecting to come in today. Not that I have that much to show you, but I've got something. You already seen what it is. I've got something special. Um, we'll talk about it soon. So it's Sunday. It's Sunday, end of the afternoon. You know, I usually bring my videos out on afternoon, evening. Well, it's all turned around. Especially I really wasn't expecting to bring a video because now I'm back at work and I don't have that much free time. But I've took a decision and I've already let my customers know, because usually I used to do like 12, 13 hours shift of work. But then I decided to bring it a bit lower. So up to the end of this year, or what already is booked, it's booked. But from the beginning of next year, I will not be doing more than 10 hours. So I'll be working like something from 6:37 in the morning down to 5 o'clock on the afternoon. Oh, that is such an improvement for me. I'll have some more free time. I can do some more design. I can have some more family time. It definitely will be better. So that's the reason why I wasn't thinking of bringing a video, because I was thinking, oh, maybe I won't have enough content to show you. And it's not that I have that much, but I have a pattern that I really would like to show you. So the ones that I'm going to show you, you've already seen. I've already put it up on sale apart from one, but one. And it's the one that is on the cover. It's a very, very special one for me, and we'll talk about it in a second. So I've worked in 3 projects. I will leave one to the end. I'm only going to show you 2 right now, and you'll see why. So the first one that I've got to show, it's stitch bones. And as I told you last week, I didn't stitch much on it. I only stitched 587 stitches. So this is not even this week's stitches. This is last week's. And all I did, it was around here on the black. But I think that is coming up gorgeous. I really, really like it. It's dark colors, but you can see things coming up. All these columns, and it's really nice. This is my design. Sorry, let me put this in here because it's heavy. Now it's better. And at the moment it has 4,038 stitches, and that it's 1.12%. In total, it's 600 by 600, and it has 200. That's more than enough. 207 colors. I really like it. I think it's going to be a stunning piece when it's ready. I really, really like to stitch it. I'm just going to put it here on the side. You know, I've been talking to some of you, because now you are stitching them, you know, it's not just me. And I wanted to have your feedback. And it seems that you're happy. And that makes me even happier, you know, that it's just not just me. The feedback that I've been having is that it's great to stitch them. It has confetti areas and more blocked areas. So they say that it's not boring, because you keep changing them. And I've talked to at least 3 of you, and it makes me really, really happy that you enjoy them as much as I do. So this is the first one that I've got to show you. The second one is a new start. I was hoping to have more on it, but I don't. I only have this, and this is Golden Serenade. Now, oh, sorry. In this one, there's one of you, and if you go into Instagram or somewhere, I don't want to mention names because you may not like it, but there's one of you that's already have quite a lot of this. I think, if my memory doesn't let me down, I think I have something like 10,000 stitches already. And in this, you can see 1,218. And that person started from the bottom left, and first he had this like yellow area like I do, but now you can see the flowers coming up. Oh, and I'm proud. I'm so proud. I'm sure she's proud of her work, but I'm proud of my design too. So it's really nice. At the moment, it's just I'm stitching like with gold colors, but it's really nice. I really like it. So this is one of my new painting fairy frames, the ones that I said to you that were arriving. And you'll see another one very soon. You know how they are. I love it. Well, the first work that I've showed you is in that fabric that I really love, that I get from Casa Senina, but I don't have any collaboration with Casa Senina. It's just because that is a Zweigart fabric that I really, really like it on 18 count, because the holes, as I say, they're big. And this one is a Portuguese Ada, also 18 count, but it is a lot harder to stitch on it. Well, at least for me. I'm worried that this will go all on the floor, so let me just put it in here. Sorry if there's any noise. But it's safer. Now I know that it's safer. So I think I said I stitched 1,218. I did a total, since the last time I showed my stitch, I only did 2,270. So there's 465 stitches missing in here from what I've shown you, that I will show you more at the end. So this one I forgot to mention, I think, is 450 by 600, and it has 94 colors, so it's even less than a half. I'm not going to go again. I know I've had a lot of questions regarding why I use so many colors. Well, just go in the last video and you'll see why. So if we only leave in the other one to the end, what I've got to show you now is the new designs that you've already seen. Actually, I'm leaving the last one. And the first one I'm looking here is Scorpio. I'm quite happy with this pattern because, as you can see, the Scorpio is beautiful, you know, and then the surrounding is flowers, but then it comes up as like the darkness of the Scorpio. I quite like it. I'm not saying people of Scorpio are dark, but the feeling, I think it's all in there. I'm really, really proud of this picture. Well, if you're a Scorpio, I hope you do like it. And then I've got another sign, and this one doesn't need to be that dark, but it's powerful too. So it's Leo. And I really also think that it came up really, really nice. And the Scorpio is 450 by 600, 195 colors, and Leo is 450 by 675 with only 135 colors. So you see, the darkness on that one needed a little bit more detail. Then the one I've got to show you here is Her Majesty, Her Highness. I really like it. I'm quite proud of this design. It's a different style. It's not like a bee in the nature. It's just a golden plated bee. I think it looks really nice. And she has 400 by 499 stitches with 149 colors. So she's already smaller, so you can't complain as much in this one. It's because there's the detail that I needed to give it. It would be even better if it had more stitches, of course, especially in that gold areas in the body. But I think it was quite good, and trying to be, is missing the words, you know, that trying to listen to what are people also asking a little bit smaller. So I think this one came up really nice. I'm full of flies at the moment because I love to have the windows open. Then we're getting into Christmas, and the reason is because July is coming, and I know that some of you like to stitch Christmas in July, so I decided to give you some more options. I'm sure you have plenty started by now, but if you wanted to have a look at something else, then there's new Christmas coming. And this week I'm only brought 2, but there will be more coming out. Nativity, I think, is a very important, if you're religious, is a very important picture to have, isn't it? And I thought this one came out quite nice. I think the main details are in there. You've got the guiding star, you've got all the things that we know from the religion. I don't want to go too much because some of you don't like it, but it's okay. Oh, something I wanted to bring. Sometimes, you know that I do these pictures with AI, and I'm still new at this. And sometimes the pictures don't look exactly as the pattern. Always look at the pattern too. The mock-up picture. Because if there's a detail in the picture that I think that it's not perfect enough, but I can correct it in the AI, I can actually do it with the pattern. I worked out. Even if some people say that I can't do it because I am bringing out too many, so there's no way that I'm working them. Yes, I am, okay? Because otherwise you wouldn't have that human skin coming out that good with only one thread. And also there are some details, and I'm not going to point them out, but there are some details like in this picture. That's why I just remembered that I wasn't very happy with the AI representation. So I did my tweakle. And they are slightly different in the pattern in the mock-up. So just make sure you have a look at the mock-up. And that's it. That's Nativity. That's something that I would love to stitch, but it's not one of my just new stitches at the moment because I've got so many that I want to start. Actually, I've just agreed with some girls on Facebook group that we were going to start a stitch along, and I can't remember the name of that pattern. Sorry. Let me try to see if I can remember. Sorry. I know I should know the names, but there's so many, my memory is not that good. I'm talking about the strongest spell. There was a couple of ladies in the group that said they were going to start it. They were just waiting for the threads, and actually decided to attempt to join them. They said I was welcome. So I'm sure if you want to join the start, everyone stitches whatever the speed that you want. But it would be nice, I think, I'm sure they both will agree, that it will be nice to have more people starting them together. So if you've already got the pattern and you haven't started, or if you're thinking of getting it and you would like to join us on the new start, welcome. I'm sure you are very welcome from them too. And that is the strongest spell. So it should be a new start for me very, very soon. I will wait for them. Then, and Willow just changed here. She's just next to me sleeping, but she decided to sleep on my laptop on top of it. Like she always finds some weird places. Then we have another very sweet one, I think, for Christmas. That is Christmas Homecoming. It's like going back vintage, like it's this kind of a sort of 1920 car. Now, I came up with another picture. It's different from what I normally design. It's kind of another representation of this picture. Some people tell me that they would like to stitch smaller patterns because they don't want to take that long to stitch. And they asked me to do smaller versions. Sometimes it actually is possible, but with a lot less quality. And I don't really like it. But, okay, if he's a human, I'm not doing it. If he has skin and if he has faces, it's not point. It will never look. If it's a landscape, sometimes it's okay. Even yesterday, I gave someone that requested it. I gave her an example of how we would look good with the amount of stitches that she wants. So sometimes I do that. But with this one, I decided to do something different. So I'm going to put a picture in here. This could be done with a considerable amount of less stitches. I'm sure it's not how you say it, but If you're happy with that kind of picture, then I can do it with less, but not the original one. It will never look nice. Um, I'm very happy with this one. You know, Christmas, snow, red, house. I think it's there. I think it's very gorgeous, but who am I to say like that about my designs? You're best judges than me, right? So that's the new patterns that I had to show you. And now there's another one. Um, one that I'm very proud of it, but I know that it's not for everyone. I'm probably going to be the only one stitching it. I know, because not many people like to stitch with white. And this one will have a lot of white stitches. And if it's not white, it's very close. All of the picture is on white tones. So this is it. This is the picture that made me do this video. This is the picture that when I came up with it, I said, I want to do it. I just want to start this. I really, to tell you the truth, I don't know how is it gonna look like? Because it's a lot of white, and to get the different shades, you need a lot of different variations of shades. And DMC gives us a few, not that many. So what's used is also a lot of the new numbers, you know, like 1, 2, 3. I don't have them here. Hold on a second. So I've got some threads here. A lot of these ones. Sorry. Let me see if I can grab them. You see, like, these are the new ones, the new shades of DMC, like 1 to 35. There's a lot of very light, maybe not this one, not sure which one it is, 4. Not sure if the 4 is there, but let's take this one out and let's just pretend. See all of these pale threads? That's what we'll need to stitch this pattern. And also the whites, you know, all the whites that we know, the Snow Whites, the 38, 65, 66, if I'm not wrong. That's what we will be stitching with. So the thread change is very soft. So even I am worried with how it's going to come up. The mock-up, it comes okay, but you know the mock-ups always depend on the manufacturer of that app. How did they calibrate the color? I'm actually, sometimes there's some doubts on Pattern Keeper because their color calibration is different from Saga or from other apps. It's quite different. And sometimes the tones, when I give you a mock-up, it comes with one color, and then when you upload it in Pattern Keeper, it seems like slightly different, and sometimes actually quite different. And that is the reason, because, you know, like in the screen, sometimes you can see one color, and then the other screens, you see different colors. That's calibration, that's the density of the color. So from the mock-ups, the different mock-ups that I was able to generate, it is good. It is okay. Oh, you should see my screen. Willow was just sleeping in one of the keyboard. You know, don't even know the words. She's just silly. Just before, she was sleeping nearly inside Louis' mouth. So, and now she's just checking all of my screen. But as I was saying, we'll see. I'm starting it. Well, I've already started it. I couldn't wait. You know, before I did this video, I was designing I finished, well, I had the picture for quite a while now, and then I was doing the pattern, and I had all my twinkle done to it, and I was going to put it up for sale. And then I decided, wait, I'm going to start it. And then I recalled that some of you asked me, if I could record a video on how do I start a pattern, how do I organize myself. So I decided to start that design. Why not? You know, I couldn't, I wouldn't be having a better opportunity than that. I just wanted to start it so much. So guys, that's how I normally, I'm missing a lot of threads here. I've got a full set of painting fairy threads, and they all mess like that because that's, you know who, don't you? That's Miss Willow. She plays with them, and I'm waiting for all the ones that are already finishing. But this is how I'll grab another one. Sorry, my mom just came in and the dogs go all crazy. I was just showing you how I have my threads. This is the set from Painting Fairy. Sometimes when I'm kitting up a new project, I kit up the threads for that. But I didn't want to waste time. And sometimes I don't. I just work from here. Like here at the moment, I've got like all the 700s in here, and here all the new ones and the 100 ones. So, and then I have like a ring for all the 200s and another one for 300s, and that's how I store them. So let me just put them back. But I will add some pictures soon as well, so you can see how I stitch. So, as I was saying, I decided to start it. So first, we're gonna draw the winner for last week's draw. But let's just decide a word for this week's in case you don't want to see all the remaining of the video. So let's say nativity, okay? So the new word will be nativity for next week if you want to join. I think Alice was probably easier than nativity, but we'll just write the word and say something else. It will be fine. So we need to draw the winner, and I'm gonna put it down because I didn't get the details, sorry. So I've already found the site where I draw the winner. I've already got the video in, and it's saying that I've got 117 comments, and I'm going to add the word, and then you have to have a minimum of 1 like, be subscribed, users only once, number of winners 1, and backups 0. Sorry, I just need to check. Sorry, I just had an important message coming up and I had to. So going back, I've got the details there. It says the words Alice, likes, count, unique users only, subscribers, only 1 winner, no backups, and let's start the draw and good luck everyone. So let's bring that down and let me have a look. And the winner is Shata1285. Congratulations. And your comment says, oh, something. He's asking me to go out for a walk. I know what it is. It usually starts from 5:30 afternoon. I love all your new designs. Alice and the rabbit are so cute. I have only done stamped cross stitch. Oh, I can't see the rest of the comment, but I'm already very, very happy. So it means that you're new and you're going to start with a huge one. Congratulations. So let's see which one you pick up for your first cross stitch count instead of stamped. Good luck. You're going to choose a big one. Sorry, this is Louis. I'm going to have to stop the video again. Sorry, I'm going to have to go for a walk and then I will come back because he won't let me record anything else. From the moment he decides we need to go, we do need to go. So see you in a moment. Hi guys, I know that for you it was just a second, but for me it was like well over an hour. I normally have to go twice a day for a walk with Louis. In the morning, it's a longer walk. In the afternoon, it's just a shorter one here in the woods next to the house. And we also take Bambi. But when he decides it's this time. I didn't even take my dress out. I just put some sneakers on and a hat and my hair up, and that was it. As I was doing the walk, I just recalled because today is the motorcycle world championship, and it's always held here in my hometown. And 4 years ago, it wasn't in June, it was actually in April. And the reason why I'm telling you that is so that you know how Louis came into our family. We went for a walk that day, me, my daughter, and the boyfriend that I had at the time. And we got there, and it was actually this championship. It was in April that year. It was a very hot day too, and as we were coming back home, because it's in the middle of the woods, like a bit further away from home. Well, not far, but like 5 minutes driving. But it's just not next door, next to the house. And as we were coming back by car, the roads were really busy with all these trucks and all these cars for people to go and watch. And we saw this little thing crossing one of the roads, and we were like, what was that? And even Laura was like, what was that? And then we realized there was a small dog. And I told Laura, well, it's a small dog. And she was like, oh my God, he's going to die here in the middle of the road. He's just going to be run over by a car. And I was thinking exactly the same. But just a year before, we had Bambi. We actually got Bambi from a shelter, a dog shelter. And I didn't want any more dogs. I know one was enough. And we tried to get out of it and say, oh, he will be okay. He will be okay. And she was like crying in the car. No, he will not. And my heart was like, oh, very tight, knowing that he wouldn't be okay, probably. And then at the roundabout, we just had to come back. And we went and searched for him in the middle of the woods. And it was actually a little bit hard. He was hiding. And I was the one who found him, and I was even like far from here. He was in the middle of these wild things. We couldn't see him, but he heard me coming, and he was like crying. I was far from him, but he was already crying. And my daughter was like, "What's going on? What's going on, Mom? What are you doing?" I'm not doing anything. I'm not seen him. It's just I know where he is by the sound that he's making, but I've not seen him yet. And as I got to him, I got all scratched, and I picked it up. Oh, he was this tiny thing, and he was like, oh, full of scars and tiny insects. Oh, he didn't look nice, but he was cute. He was just this. He bent, if I grab Bambi, he's stiff. But Louis, no, he just bends, he's just like all articulated. And you brought it home. And as soon as I got home, my parents lived next to me, and they were like, what is that? And it's a dog. Oh, you don't need another dog. You've already got a dog. And I was like, yes, but I can't leave them in the road in the middle of the transitors today. I will get him to the shelter on my day off. I knew I wouldn't. By that moment, I knew I wouldn't get him anywhere. So I still got some videos. I will actually pop a video in here or a picture so you can see how small he was. I actually washed him, like that was a Sunday, and then Tuesday was my day off. On my day off, I washed him and treated all those scars and tried to do the best. I took all his fur out and I cut it off, and we actually got Laura's, my daughter's, sock, and actually managed to get him inside of a sock. So you imagine how small he was. So he's son of some like probably a wild dog, female dog. And we think his father may have been a Doberman. They used to live around here because he does look like a Doberman. And that dog used to be out on the street sometimes. So we think that maybe his son, but and his mom must have been a wild dog. So I just remember today because that was 4 years ago in the day of the championship, and it's the championship today, not in the same month. But I've just remembered that, and I decided to tell you his story. That's how he came into our life. So I'm not sure where I was, but what I want to tell you is this: as soon as I designed that pattern, I wanted to start it. I just couldn't stop myself. So instead of putting it out for sale, I decided to start it. So I decided to record a small video on showing you how I prepare it, how I do everything. And in this case, I think that's what I was talking about, the threads. In this case, I decided not to prepare the threads just for this project. I'm using my main set. I may prepare it because I will need a lot of these same colors. I think the colors are 92 colors. So it's called Per Falls because of the color. I think it's stunning. Well, for me it is. It's 500 by 624 and it has 92 colors. So I'm going to leave the video of how I prepare it and I will come back in a little bit. So guys, you asked to see how I prepare my kits, my fabric, my frames. So let's have a look at it. And we've got this beautiful pattern that I can't wait to start, so I've decided to record it for you. First of all, I use this up here. I hope you can see it. To me, is in Portuguese, X-calculators. So I just go into it and then I tell the size of my work, and this is 500 by 625. So 500 by 625, and I'm doing it in my favorite fabric that I need to tell it up. That is 18 count. I'm going to use Ada because it doesn't have this specific one, but it's the same. So 18 count. And it's asking me each stitch covers one thread. And I'm going to try to leave like at 8 centimeters border. That's why I usually do between 8 and 10. So let's have a look at the size of the fabric. It's telling me that my area stitch in centimeters. I don't know if you can see it, but it will be 70.6 by 88.2, and is recommending me a size of a fabric of 86.6 by 104.2. So what I usually do is I rounded it up. So I'm going to use 87 by 102. I'm going to take a screen print. So as I've told you before, this is my favorite fabric. I got a piece from it that is back in stock now. And as I was telling you, I need 87 by 104. So usually my fabric, it should have 100 this way, 102. So if I leave it with a border of 102, that will leave me, oh, there is Willow. Come on, Willow, out, out, out. If I will have a border of 6 centimeters, so that should be okay. Bit short, but at least it would save me a lot of fabric. I wouldn't waste that much, and I think that's what I'm going to do. So if I go back actually and do a border of 7 instead of 8 centimeters, then yes, I will need 102 by 2, so I will use it like that. Oh, it's twisted. Willow is just trying to mess everything for me. Let's have a look. Yes, it's 102, so I'll just use it like that. He will have around 7 centimeters on the border. And this way I will need 85. So when I'm cutting it that way, I need to be careful because sometimes at the supplier, they don't cut it, the fabric straight. So I always take that into account and make sure that I don't get any surprise. So I'm taking it, all the threads that are not complete, to make sure that my fabric is straight. So now it is, and I'm just going to put this here, but it will have, yeah, I know, sorry, I have to stop and put it in the bin because we'll have a lot of cuts because of Willow. So Then if we only have a 7 centimeters border on each side, I only need 85 this way. So I will measure 85. So apparently it's not that big, is it? No, it's huge. 85, and this will be my width. The area that will be stitched is just over 71, and I need 85. So I've got the 85 here. I'm going to turn it around. I've got a mark here. So I'm just going to cut a little bit so I know where I should do it. I'm going to turn it. I don't know if you're getting everything on camera. I hope you do. And I'm just going to try to slide my scissors. Make sure I don't do anything wrong. If the scissors were sharper, I only needed it to slide them like that. Oh, sorry, everything is shaky, but that's the only way that you'll be able to see what I am doing. Now, when you're touching this fabric, it almost feels like if you're touching plastic, but this is 100% cotton. And when you're stitching with 2 threads on this fabric, it feels like you're stitching on butter. So I'm just going to put the camera off to fold this away, and I'll be back. So now I've put the remaining fabric away and my scissors, so we've got a piece of fabric. This is going to be our top and bottom and the width. So I said I was going to leave 7 centimeters as a border. So I'm going to come in here and measure. Oh, you can't see it, so I'm going to bring it this way. Measure 7 centimeters. So let me grab a marker. 7 centimeters will be around here. And 7 centimeters from the top So now I know exactly where my pattern will start. And I'm making like a cross in there. So my first stitch will be here. So now we need a frame, don't we? And as you know, I love painting fairy ones. So let's just fold my fabric for now and let's get a frame ready. So first thing, I received a few days ago a frame, so let's just put it up together. You get 4 bars, that's the size that I need for this pattern. I think it goes up to, I will tell you, I will write down, I'm not sure, but this is 1 meter. Oh, what am I saying? I don't need to tell you after. I got a tape in here. So this will go up to 99 centimeters. So if what I need is 85 centimeters, I'm okay. So I just need 2 bars, but if it's bigger, you could get 3. So to do that, you need the 4 bars. You need 4 of these little pieces. I should have them all in here. And each of these pieces need like a small screw. So let's start and put it together. What I normally do, I'm hoping I'm getting everything in camera. I kind of put them in place before I actually put it in the frame. I will try fast forward this little bit. I don't tighten it up, all of it. I just put them into place. Some of them go easier, it depends if I do it properly. I will do it for all of them and then I will come back. Guys, you won't believe it. I'm already here and I thought I recorded it all. I didn't, because of Willow. So I'm gonna take it all back apart and restart from what you had. 2 seconds. So let's go back then. And as you finish to put your screws on, then you have to slide it inside the bar, and you can do both at the same time. You just have them there in place, and then you get the other part. Actually, I'm gonna just so it's exactly as the other one. It doesn't matter which side you do it. It's just me that if I did it like that in the other one, because I didn't take the other one apart, I want to do this one the same. So you put them together like that, and when you tighten it, your screws, the parts are stuck together. That's all you have to do. I'm not taking the other one apart because it's exactly the same as if you see this one, you know how to do it in both. Yes, I had to go all the way back because Willow jumped at the camera and I didn't realize that she changed the settings. So I was actually not recording anymore. Me here explaining everything to you. And Willow was having a laugh at me. I even had to take the fabric away from her because she was biting it. So we've got the bar now stuck together. And I didn't take this one apart because it's exactly the same. So I can put the little key away. Now my fabric. As I said to you previously, but you didn't see it. You get the top of your fabric and you fold it away. Try to do it like more or less similar size. You can actually draw a line if you want, just to make sure. Actually, I'm going to do that with you. What I do sometimes is I draw a line so I know where like to fold it all the way around in exactly the same place. Sorry for this noise. And this pen is not working that well, but as long as I can see the mark, it will be okay. It's just that if you give it the same border, like in the fold, then you know that your fabric is really straight in the frame. It won't make that much difference if it wasn't, because your bars are adjustable, but I like it. So I fold it by my mark. I hope everything is on screen so you will see it. I didn't do this the first time, but as I'm doing the second one, I better do it properly, won't I? So I've now folded it with this exactly the same width all the way, and we're gonna slide it inside the bar. And to do that, you have this little helper in here. You just push it down properly. Sometimes you will come out again, but it's okay. It's just that it's easier. Then you get these acrylic bars and you slide them from both edges. And that's what is gonna hold your fabric in place. Now I get another one and I will add it from this side. That's it, our fabric is attached to the top bar. And now we need to do the same for the bottom. So again, let's mark where we want the folder to be. I don't know if I'm repeating myself because I don't know exactly what I said in this part that I didn't record and what I said before. So my fabric, when you touch it, it seems like plastic canvas, but it's not. It's 100% cotton. But it is a bit stiff, as you can see as I'm touching it. But when you get it in the frame all stretched, it doesn't make any difference at all. And when you stitch it, because the holes are really big, you don't have too much fabric to cover with your thread, so you don't have fabric showing underneath. Like your coverage with your threads is perfect. And because of the holes being big, you need and your thread goes in like butter. So I got my line that I used to guide me to fold it. Just need to press it on this side. Again, this is not something that you have to do. I do it because I like it to be straighter, but because there is the sidebars that adjust, it doesn't matter if it's a little bit more on one side than in the other one. Again, you can use that piece to help you, but I probably won't even need it. Now, if your fabric is thinner than mine, you may want to use, that painter's tape. I usually, if I'm using like, sorry, I hope I was right here when the phone rang. I'm not sure what I was saying. So we just slide this bar all the way to the, I think what I was saying is that when I use like a linen, the fabric is much thinner, so I usually put another piece of fabric, or what I usually like to add is some of that, some of that painter's tape that you have to prevent for the paint to go into the walls. I think it's like paper tape or something like that around your acrylic bars, and then you make them thicker so the fabric doesn't get out. So now we just need to roll the fabric in the bar. I'm having the feeling that I'm rolling more on one side than the other, but again, that will be okay. Yeah, I've got one side stretched than the other one, but it's okay because the bars will actually adjust that. So now that it's in, I may want to slide it slower. Well, I can always slide this one, it's probably easier, just to make them more or less the same. Not that you have to, it's just, again, I like it. Then you get your sidebars. I'm going to bring this in, that you get in. I usually close them down all the way first. That's it. You take these little things in here and you add in there. I need to let it unroll, and that's it. These bars have some holes, but it doesn't have to go into the holes. Sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't. In this case, because it's fitting there properly, I'm going to slide it through the hole. But Painting Fairy is saying that the next one's coming out, that they don't actually have that hole in. So I'm going to do the same on the other side. And you can roll your fabric whichever way you prefer it. I like to roll it like so. I have this way deeper, but you could roll it the other way around. So I'm just closing the bar. I'm going to slide it in here. So my top at the moment is fixed, and this is where I'm going to start. So I need to tighten this a little bit. I'm going to let it actually come out, so I can slide this in. And I have to put another key in the other one as well. And that's it. My fabric, my frame is in. Now, all is left is to stretch it. And to stretch it, you just open here. The more you stretch it, the more you open it, the stretcher it will be. I'm now going to put it one side down and stretch this one. I'm going to go to the other one. And you stretch as much as you want. Mine is actually already okay. But you can do it as much as you want. And there it is. That's your Painting Fairy frame on place, and you're ready to start. So let's turn the camera around, okay? I do hope this is okay for you to see. I'm not sure. So I'm going to show you how I normally prepare it from here. It's now, the frame is now on my Painting Fairy frame stand. That is the one that clips onto the table. I will take a sideways picture so you can see. And I'm going to mark my fabric the way that I normally like it for you to see. So as you've seen it before, this will be my first stitch. I'm actually going to put this running faster for you so you don't waste your time. I'm sure you will understand what I'm doing. I'm going to try to stitch this one in diagonal ones. So I'm going to prepare the fabric for that, okay? So now you're ready to start. I did all the marks that I normally do, and then as I'm growing, I keep carrying in them. I'm trying to add the pattern on my mobile, and I've got the threads, the main Painting Fairy set. I will add a picture as well in here so you can have a look how I have them. I have them as a floss drops, wood ones in a big circular holder. I'll leave you a picture. I'm sure you'll see in a picture at the moment. And let's start stitching it. I don't know how easy this will be with the camera in here. I'm not used to do stitch alongs. I'm not good at that. I don't think so. So let's just try it. My first thread, it will be number 2. I'm stitching, as you know, on 18 count with 2 threads. I don't think I will have much to say, so I'll probably won't stitch for long. It will be just for you to see how I do it. I'm actually threading my needle. I will, as I'm not sure if I said it already or not, I will be trying to do diagonals and with parking. Usually one thing that makes me decide if I do like how do I say it, if I put the threads, if I prepare the threads just for this pattern or not, is if I'm parking or not. If I decide to park, then I usually work from my main set, and I'm using Painting Fairy that you all know by now that I really, really love. Now the angle to stitch and record, I don't know how good it is for you to see, but to stitch is horrible. So guys, that's the way I do it. You've seen how I anchored, and sometimes I do the stitch like a full stitch and not half stitch to one side and then to the other one. It really depends on the area where I am. I usually prefer to do one stitch at a time, but because it is faster usually to do all to one side and then to the next one, sometimes I've changed that. So we never know what's coming up. So I'm going to stitch for a little bit. Actually, I need to put my thread. I didn't pull it properly. Actually, I just did something wrong, you know. And I shake everything. I don't think I will be good at this, stitching and recording at the same time. I don't think it will be me. I need to undo this because these 2 threads. Oh, these 2 threads, 2 stitches here should have been next to each other, and that's not what I did. So I will need to thread my needle again, and I'm not one of those fast threaders, especially when I'm trying to pay attention to what I'm saying and in this angle. But at least you have an idea now how I prepare my things and how I stitch. I hope you can see how big the holes are in here and how easy it is to stitch. Like I can do it here, like if I was doing 1 stitch at a time. Now I've got 3 in a row, so I can actually, if I want to do it this way, first leg, the bottom leg first, and then come all the way back with the second leg. It's not the way that I like it the most, but sometimes when I just want to go faster, yes, I will do it. So at the moment I'm going to try to fill this area, and then I will start with the diagonals. One thing that you have to do in this fabric is you have to keep pulling the thread, because of the holes being so loose. The stitches do come loose if you don't pull your thread quite tight. I don't know if you'll be able to see any of this. I don't know if my hand is on the way. But I think I'm gonna leave you here, guys. You know how it is to stitch. I think you only wanted to see how I prepare it. And as I said, the only thing that I'm not showing you is that if I wanted to prepare the threads just for this design, and that's not the case. That's not what I will be doing. So I'm going to stop recording here this part. So now that you've seen how I prepare it, as I told you, I love these painting fairy frames. And if you decide to try one, feel free to use my link. You will help me if you do, and you'll get 5% off for yourself. I also love their threads, so if there's two things that I will recommend from them, it's definitely the frames and the threads. I really, really like it, and you've seen how easy it is to use. And I also love the stand for the table. There's different stands. There's a bird just hitting the window, that's why I was looking, sorry. There's a few things that you can pick up, and if you want to give them a try, please help me out, as I'm always happy to help you. The fabric is the stunning fabric that I love, that is a Zweigart for needlepoint. It's actually not supposed to be for cross stitch, but I got the idea from a Russian girl and she was right. It's definitely good for this. Even the white stitches look good on it. So as I finished to record that little video for you, I just couldn't stop. I was supposed then to come and record all this, but no, I decided to carry on. So I've got to show you, I didn't do a lot, but I did a little bit more than what you've seen in there. So that's what I've got. Sorry, I know this fabric is not very good to show you because it's kind of a see-through, but I'll try to put my hand on the back. And I've actually put a closer up picture in here so you can see the colors. And this is the thing that is worrying me, because I think that's probably what I was talking about. Because there isn't that many light shades on DMC, well, I still managed to use 92, but it's harder to see the difference on them. And in the mock-ups, it seems okay, but I do hope that it's okay. But I'm telling you, I'm not 100% sure, because there's not like that difference in color, how it's going to look. If I'm guiding myself from the markups, it's going to look stunning. And from this little bit, it does look really good, actually. But I'm stitching it. This is not for everyone, my guys. It's for everyone that wants to give it a try. But I have to tell you that one suggestion that I have is that you can actually use a colored fabric to make it easier, or dye it yourself. I should have done that, but I wanted to start it straight away. I couldn't wait. I was actually okay stitching it, but I don't know if that's because of for being this fabric. In some other ones, I think this fabric, because of having big holes, I think I lose myself a little bit easier than in the Ada. But then to stitch nearly all white, I don't know, I think the best it would be having a colored fabric. But knowing me, I want everything for yesterday, so I wasn't gonna wait to dye my fabric. No way. I just had to start it, and I didn't find it that hard, but it may be for some people. So if you do like a challenge, then come and join me, please. But I know that it will be hard for some people because of the stitches being all very, very, very light. But it's worth it. Look at it. Look at the picture. It's stunning. So I think I may have talked about everything. this was so many stop and starts. If I'm missing anything, if there's anything that you want to know, please just put the question in the comments, and I will be happy to answer anything that you need to know or that you want to know. So the patterns, the designs that you see coming up, that's not everything that I design. There's so many that you never see because they are personal. And even sometimes people tell me that I can actually put them on the store. Sometimes I just want to let people have their own pattern. It's their pattern. It was designed for them. Okay, so there's a lot of work going on, just to tell you that. So be patient with me, okay? Guys, thank you very much for your time. I have no idea how long this is because it's been so many cuts. So I hope this was not too boring for you. And good luck for the next show. I hope you like one of them. Well, there's some to choose from, but there's always purples. You can always choose that one if you win this week. Guys, I'm not taking longer. You take care of yourself. We'll just look. Oh, that chair is quite far away because this chair was there and she was jumping from the chair to there. She's going everywhere now. Bye bye. You take care of yourself and your loved ones, and I will see you in 1 or 2 weeks, not sure. Bye bye.